Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Matters That Matter. I'm Simran and I'm in a conversation with my mentor, Susie Singh. So, today we are going to talk about the phenomenon of dreams. I'm sure everybody at some point in their lives has been very curious about dreams because it is something that all of us experience. So, Susie, I think I want to ask you, why do humans dream?
Well, dreaming is the dreaming state is a bit like your sensorial back office. It is sorting and sifting through the experiences that we've had through the day. And depending on our own programs and what's important to us, some of those experiences will be moved to the long term memory. Some of them will be discarded if they're not required. And some of them will be processed, which is that whole experience of venting dreams, where you're trying to make sense of what happened through your day because you are still incomplete or unresolved about that experience. So the
Right.
dreaming mind is bringing to our attention a lot of what might have gone unnoticed or what we may have escaped through the course of our day.
All right. So, does everyone dream, or is it possible to not have dreams at all?
Well, since every sentient being is having experiences, right? And
Yeah.
if the function of the dreaming state is to sort through those experiences, then of course everyone is dreaming. The difference, of course, is that some people remember their dreams upon waking up, and other people think they don't dream because they don't recall their dreams. And that may be because they haven't worked with their awareness, they're not used to recalling dreams. They maybe, if you've had a really heavy dinner and you've slept very late, then it's very difficult to pull back the dreams into your waking state, etc. But if you develop your awareness and you have a desire to recall your dreams and to use them as important information from your subconscious mind, that is very possible to do through practice.
Right. So you said that dreams are important information from the subconscious mind.
Yep.
So can you elaborate more on, do dreams have meaning and information that can help us know more about ourselves?
Yes, so let's take an example to illustrate this. Usually, there are archetypal dreams, or they are collective symbols that are expressed in dreams. And while some of these may have a universal meaning, there may be others that become very specific to the individual who is dreaming because we all have our own associations and our own symbolic language.
Hmm.
Um, so let's examine some of the universal symbols. For example, if you see birds flying or you see yourself flying in a dream, it is
Hmm.
likely that you're either wanting freedom or you are feeling trapped and you want that freedom and you want to break free. Or
Hmm.
it could be that you are looking to scale heights and you're dreaming about achieving a certain breakthrough in the speed at which you're flying or moving through whatever initiative that you are taking. Also, things like if you're dreaming of houses and you find that you're moving houses, that you are in some automotive and you're moving in a train or you're moving in a bus or land movement primarily, where you're still connected or earth to the ground, but you're moving houses, then that shows a form of transition in your consciousness because the house represents your consciousness. And the basement will represent something that's buried in your subconscious mind. Moving into the attic and searching for something maybe that you may be wanting to seek guidance from your higher mind. Moving into a bigger house may represent that you are expanding your consciousness. Moving into a cluttered, smaller house may indicate that your awareness itself has shrunk because you've been too worried or anxious or fogged over in your mind. So as you can see, these are broadly collective symbols.
Right.
But there will be more intimate symbols to you, which will refer or pertain primarily to you.
Hmm.
And I would like to share a dream that we were recently discussing. This was that I was discussing with someone. There is this person, and this person is in real life a lady, and she is in the process of excreting or eliminating in a naked state. And I will break this dream into parts. Now, when you just hear of this, and if you look at it at a superficial level, it may bring up all sorts of anxiety for you. Why am I dreaming myself doing these terrible things?
Yeah.
Right? Because they seem very something that you do in the privacy of your own life. But it's different. The whole act of eliminating is trying to get rid of something that you've been holding on to. It's a purging process. If the person is clothed, she may be purging something that she is still purging at a superficial level. But the fact that this lady is purging and she's naked while she eliminates indicates that she's gone into a very deep level of allowing herself to eliminate some shame. And she's doing some extensive work with shame elimination. So you can see this becomes a very, very intimate language or symbolism in the dream. There is a second part. The dream then shows that there is a man who walks into the same room where this is happening. And it's very important to see the underlying feeling associated, because if she had got upset or angry, then that would have had a very different reflection in the dream. But the fact that this person is extremely calm, and in a very calm way, she tells this gentleman that I need my privacy. Can you please leave the room? And the person walks out. Now, this shows a certain degree of comfort and her having acknowledged her shame and her being willing to engage in the process without shame.
Right.
And there is a third aspect to the dream when this person's wife comes in and gets very angry with her, blaming her for actually enticing her husband. So this part, and the response of this, the original lady who is purging, she's very calm, and she takes a long time to explain to this lady that she had no such intention, and that, accidentally the person had walked into the room and she'd forgotten to lock the room. Now, this indicates that there is some misunderstanding that this person is working through. There may be a sense that she is being blamed or accused of something that she hasn't done and needs explaining. And maybe at some level she is feeling, she's calm, she's not frustrated. But the mere act of having to explain, the mere fact that she is misunderstood for an innocent act where all she's doing is working through her own shame, indicates that she is going through a traumatic, some sort of a sense of betrayal or some form of accusation in her real life, and she is tired of explaining herself. So, three little elements of what may have been a wisp of a dream, something that seems very inconsequential. Or what was I doing purging in my dream, or, defecating in my dream? And does it even make sense? But if it does, and when I explained it to this person who was going through this experience and asked her to correlate it with what was occurring in her life, she found that these symbols held great meaning for her, and that she could carry that same sense of calm that she experienced in her dream into the real life state that she was experiencing, where she needed to explain herself and something was occurring in her life. And it was easy for her to draw the message, or to take the message of keep your calm, you're in a process of letting something go that is very deep-seated and all, because she's not wearing clothes, right? And she's comfortable with dropping her mask and being just herself. So all of those little symbols are extremely meaningful.
Right. So, I think this example very clearly shows us that our waking state and our dream state don't exist in isolation. They're quite interconnected, and that our dreams hold a lot of meaning and information for us if we were to analyze or interpret them. So, Susie, if someone wants to get started on this journey of interpreting their dreams or extracting some information from them, how should they get started on this? How can we interpret our dreams?
Okay, the first principle is slip into your dream state and slip out of your dream state very, very gently. So, you can't go agitated to sleep. Slipping in means that you settle your mind. If there are things worrying you, maybe write them down, a little job list, free your mind. Maybe spend 5 minutes just centering yourself, becoming mindful, and then entering your sleep state. So you're very calm when you enter your sleep state. You're moving from your active beta state of the day into the relaxed alpha state of sleep with a sense of awareness. And the waking up needs to be in the same manner, where you don't wake up to an alarm clock jarring you out of your sleep, because you're going to lose your dreams if you do that. You need to have a natural waking up. If you need to set an alarm, which fortunately during the lockdown, I'm sure most people don't need to do that. But if you need to set the alarm, set it, say, 5 or 10 minutes in advance, later. So if you have to wake up at 6:30, set the alarm for 6:40 and give yourself that 10 minutes cooling time, entering into the waking stage time. So budget for those extra 10 minutes that you need to wake up easily. And the second thing is, you must actually make the intention when you go to bed in a very definitive way that tonight, as I fall asleep, my mind is going to be aware of all the dreams and the messages that are being revealed to me from my unconscious mind or my subconscious mind. And upon waking, I will be able to recall and remember these easily.
So this should be like a declaration, like somebody should ask.
Yeah. And I want to create the difference between the intention and a declaration. An intention still hopes that it'll happen. A declaration is deciding it is going to happen. And it may happen on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, but you know it'll happen because you're repeatedly, you're preparing your mind to recall it. When you wake up and you're in this semi-waking state, the idea is to capture whatever the dream is and catch the fish backwards, I say. Catching it backwards means you take the last frame of the dream, remember the one before that, before that, before that, before that, in a rewind mode. You capture the sequence. So you rewound, you've gone through the dream again the second time round, and now you have registered it. Your waking state, because that's the 10 minutes that you've allowed yourself to wake up, and you fished the dream out of your sleep, and you've reminded yourself by going through it once again. It's best to sort of note down key highlights of your dream on a piece of paper as soon as you wake up, because again, as you get busy through the day, you're likely to lose them. And it's ideal if you can spend some time, anytime through the day, sitting with that dream, contemplating upon it, and asking to be shown the symbolism or unraveling the symbolism, because it won't be so apparent when you first start working with your dreams.
Right. So I have experienced this a lot, that when I dream, other than the images that I see, I also feel things with those images. So can our feelings or emotions or whatever we feel during the dream also act as a symbol to for us to interpret what the dream meant for us?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I mentioned in the example that I gave, where it's important to see the feeling associated. Did this person feel agitated that the man had walked into that space when she was defecating? Remember, so if there is agitation, then the meaning will change entirely, because how she's dealing with her situation or what may be happening to her, or that she may not have even addressed the irritation or the agitation that she's feeling, and therefore it's popping up in the dream to be vented or to be completed or to be processed through her dream state. So yes, the feeling underlying the dream becomes very important. And sometimes people don't remember the sequence of the dream, and I say, okay, if you have a overall helicopter theme, if you can recall, but you remember the feeling. What were you feeling when you dreamt? Was it a comfortable feeling? Was it an uncomfortable feeling? If you can just start by categorizing and then become more specific about, if it's an uncomfortable feeling, then what was it more likely to be? So that can lead you to a better understanding of, okay, and what was I experiencing yesterday? And does this uncomfortable feeling match something that happened today that I didn't have the opportunity to address or deal with?
Right. So I hope this information helps anyone who is curious about dreams or is planning to get started on their journey of recording and interpreting their dreams. It sounds like it is practice, and eventually, the more you practice, the better you get at it. Thank you so much, Susie, for
It's
sharing this
very exciting.
information.
It's also very exciting.
Yeah,
And if any of our
yeah.
viewers want to share some of their less personal dreams that they're seeking some guidance to, you can just mention some of your dream symbols and maybe we can help you interpret them to start you off on your journey.
Definitely, we can do this activity. You can write down your dreams or DM them to us if they're too personal. And or you can write to us your questions about dreams, any more questions that you might have. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.